This from Adam R. Subject is calling it in the ring. Konnan/Disco. When you work now, how much more gratifying is it to you to have a match where you and your opponent are capable of calling the match in the ring? Do you observe any pros? Do you observe any pros? I think he meant props for your. Do you observe any pros for yourself when memorize the match ahead of time with some of the younger talent? No, but like what I do is when I train to wrestle with these guys, sometimes I'll just get in the ring with the guy and I'll say, "Hey, just listen to me. I'm going to call it."
Right.
And we'll just work in a call and I'll teach the guy, like, and then I'll say, we'll do a spot like a minute or two, and then I'll say, okay, I go call it back, and I'll have the guy do the same spot to me, call it out and something. That's the thing too. Like, look, when you want, like, it's funny too. When I watch trainers or watch Training Day, you don't really see a lot of, like, in the training, they're all calling in the ring. Like, I'm like, what do you guys, like, I went back to the FSW school and the guys were like just doing this stuff. I'm like, guys, just you'll always be calling this out when you're doing this, because that's how you get used to doing this.
Right.
Even when you do drills, you talk. That's because the talking is part of the skill in the ring. So I guess people just actually maybe even like
when I did
in the back and like don't even like call it, don't even say anything in the ring anymore. Huh? I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny because when I broke into the business, especially in the United States, nobody really went over much in the dressing room, just kind of the finish and maybe one high spot. You know what I'm saying? And then as time progressed, and I also think as lucha influence permeated the United States, and there's so much going on in lucha, now I see them like put the whole match together in the dressing room. Like, that's why everything looks so choreographed. Where in our time, there's a reason it didn't look choreographed, because it really wasn't. You just went out there and you kind of just knew the finish and maybe one little high spot. You know what I'm saying? Now they're kind of putting the match together from front to end. And I remember one time Eddie Guerrero told me, he goes, "You better learn how to call the match in the ring." And I was thinking to myself, what the fuck for? That's what we get together before a match. And so I went to Japan once, but I was lucky enough that even though we were in separate dressing rooms, I was wrestling my teacher, Rey Mysterio Sr., so we already knew what we were going to do. We'd talked about it in the car. But I went to Puerto Rico, bro, and I got there late. And when I got there, I was like, yeah, where's Ray? And I was wrestling Jerry Lynn. And I was like, not Jerry Lynn, Jerry Flynn. Is that his name? The karate guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was man, I'm going to have to get together with this guy because I haven't wrestled him much and I want to do some lucha shit and I don't think he knows any. So I'm thinking in my mind what I was going to do and I'm looking for him. They're like, yeah, he's in the other dressing room. And I go, well, can you take me to him? No. Can you take him to me? No. Here's your finish. And I go, well, wait a minute. I got a high spot and this. And they were like, call it in the ring. Bro, I was so fucking lost. I felt really, and I'd been in the business 10 years. You know, we were trying to call shit out there, but it was a really bad match.
Well,
and the one thing that I do want to say is being in Puerto Rico really helped me become a well-rounded wrestler because you had to learn how to call it in the ring, and it's so much easier to call it in the ring, and it just made me a way better wrestler. That's something that wrestlers should learn how to do: call a match in the ring, because you never know when you're going to get there late. You never know you're going to wrestle somebody that doesn't know your language. You never know. You know, you might be in separate dressing rooms,
and you never know when a guy's going to get lost.
Right.
You know,
right.
the guy gets lost. In the ring. You just start right. Yeah.
Right.
Somebody get
forgets
lost.
their high spot, and the whole match freezes. What's next?
You got to know. Well, I'll just pick it up from here because I know how to call a match. You know, that's what you would do. So,